I want to call this May 15th, 2024 meeting to order. Ryan, you want to lead us in pledge?
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes. Mr. Anybody, the funds?
Yeah, so on the phone proposals and going through the ball, one of the biggest issues that we have had with our current phone system, besides its being antiquated, is that we have not had local tech support. And had to wait when the phones go down, we've had to wait an inordinate amount of time to get things back on track. So with that in mind, and in looking through these, I felt like the most comprehensive estimate was from a local company. It was a contender anyway in my mind of the three. But I like that they're local and they're close. They have an office in Beckley, even though they're based out of Lewisburg, which still isn't too far away. So Greenbrier, I think it's called Greenbrier Technology. Yeah, Technologies is my recommendation. I know you guys have had a chance to look at them too, but that's where I was leaning.
John, you got any thoughts?
I agree with Allison.
I'll make a motion to approve Greenbrier Technology.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Matt, are you on? Matt,
Yeah.
I am. Good morning.
morning. You want to give us an overview, or you want the commission to ask questions, or how do you want to? I mean, I've looked at everything.
If you want to start out with questions, I mean, there's the document that the Fayette County, the Fayette Trail Coalition put together. It's kind of worked its way around the group. And
Questions?
do you have that in front of you?
Yeah, I have it. I'll go and ask a couple of questions. The Fayette County Comprehensive Trail Plan. I think the LRA currently has somebody working on that. I think the LRA hired Thrasher to do that, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody will hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, including me. I can't hear very well.
I'll yell. Can you hear me? Matt?
Matt, can you hear her?
Okay, well,
Yeah, I can hear it now.
okay, sounds good. All right, so just to give you a little context for this document, the Fayette Trail Coalition put this together after the meeting on March 20th, I believe was the original workshop, and we talked to a couple different folks. I know Gene called Steve Pridemore, he's talked to Matt Ford, Matt and I talked on the phone yesterday. Abby had a conversation with Ann Cavalier and Smithers. We talked to some folks in Oak Hill as well, just to kind of pull together everyone's thoughts on like, where are these priority trail projects in Fayette County? You know, not just Fayetteville. We want to expand our reach kind of on that thing. So that's where this came together. We've also talked to Andy Davis with the NRTRDA and Corey Lilly with the OEDC. So this wasn't just created in like a silo of what does the Fayette Trail Coalition want? And to speak to your question about the trail plan, I'm not really sure what the recreational plan will include, but our idea behind the trail plan would be more trail focused with like timelines, budgets, goals, objectives kind of thing, like the Fayette County Soft Surface Trail Plan. I believe maybe you guys are familiar with that the Fayette Trail Coalition put together. So there's four locations in there, and those, with the exception of Wolf Creek Park, may have funding related to those. So that plan will be completed hopefully within the next couple of years or so. So our thought behind this comprehensive trail plan would to include additional projects. Those could be projects put together in this list. They could come from other municipalities that have other ideas. So I guess my question would be, what will be in that rec plan that you're creating through the LRA?
I'm sure it was based off trails and recreation.
Okay, because when I hear recreation, I think like rock climbing, rafting, you know,
To me, it should be all of it, but it was based off trails and recreation takes in,
all of the.
It was a
sport.
broad scope, is.
Sure.
yeah.
Is there any opportunity for like the Fayette Trail Coalition to weigh in on that
Well,
development
Be honest
whenever
with
it starts?
you, no, we've asked, and I think Andy's, it's been the last couple of meetings, we've asked,
The Fayette Trail Coalition
well,
or Andy?
we've asked Andy and I think he's contacted you all. Is Andy on there?
I'm not trying to
No,
throw him
no.
under the bus, but I haven't heard from
No,
Andy
no, no,
about
I
that.
mean, that was part of this.
Yeah,
That was part of this, that y'all bring some stuff to the table also.
okay, great.
And I think in a meeting here 2 or 3 months ago, we was talking about that the LRA already hired
You
a,
thrash.
Engineer.
Okay,
yeah, Thrasher to do it. So we talked about it then, but maybe everybody didn't understand exactly what
Okay.
it was.
that
So I
sounds
mean,
great.
in fact, we're having a meeting, and I think we even asked Gene to be at this last LRA meeting. Andy was there, and I think
Do you
Matt.
know the date already?
What is that, Andy?
Next Thursday.
Next
Thursday?
Thursday. I
Uh,
think at least,
3 o'clock.
Okay, here.
Yes.
Okay, great.
One like that.
I don't think, we've already committed money to this
Sure,
recreation development. I don't see spending.
that makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys, in my view, absolutely should participate in that.
Great.
And I don't know, Baker disagrees.
Okay, sounds good. Do you want me to talk about these other projects in here? Do you want Matt to
Well,
lead the conversation?
I think in looking at these, I can, you guys care if I jump?
No, go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so I had a couple of questions here, but,
Mhm.
one of the things that we need when we're, like, for example, the trail tools.
Mhm.
I understand why you would want that, but for something like this, we would need, cost estimates for things like
Exactly.
that. So fortunately, that particular project isn't something we have to decide on today because that is not grant related.
Right.
That's not related to the grant that Matt is working on,
Mhm.
that's where we have to decide. So if you guys want us to seriously consider that, we're gonna need like specifics.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
This is,
and also for me, policy, like who's gonna manage the access and how's that gonna work? With,
Yeah.
you know, work with park director and find out, you know, how they'd like to work that thing, because we can't get in a position where we have staff. Cause I know you guys do most of your work because you have volunteers, and you can
Yes.
do it on the weekends.
yeah,
We don't have staff down there on the weekends, so we would have to, you know, work something out.
yeah,
To be able to do that, maybe somebody on our park board might be willing to go on the weekends. 'Cause I know
Yeah.
we have a lot of active folks there, but, so
No.
that's the type of thing that we'll need to further flush out an idea like that one.
okay.
Um,
So my thought behind that was, you know, there is this growing volunteer capacity that we've seen in Fayette County, and if we continue to add more miles, which I think we're all interested in, they'll have to be maintained. The Fayette Trail Coalition doesn't want to own that trailer, you know, we talked to Brian a little bit about just, you know, housing it at Fayette County Park, and you know, Fayette County is the owner of that. But creating some sort of MOU where, you know, if you're not there on the week, expect you to work outside your hours, you know. We have some responsibility there.
We had a great talk about how we allocate things like that. That's just one small example of how this group wanted to move forward with your volunteer base. So if we provide a volunteer base with proper tools, then we can send them out and get that stuff done. Obviously, the word volunteer is great because they're out there working hard, and that's all it is. Love this trail group kind of gets it going. But if we provided and they can give you the exact number per tool used, and there's like a check-in, check-out system or whatever like that. With park board approval, I would think it'd be a good way to do that. That way it's not like just goes out to anybody. That was something I would talk to the park board about. Hey, this group here wants to go this many miles of trail. What do you think? That way there's 3 or 4 entities, yourselves, myself, you guys, we're all together making a decision. And then on the stuff you're seeing in front of you now, Brittany here, like she was just really trying to show you guys a couple of different projects at the park or whatever like that. They didn't go into specific with the numbers, but also I thought it was neat because that day we did the workshop here, and we asked to kind of get that group together. They did show moving forward process of getting together, talking to different groups and trying to come together. So it's kind of weird when you sit, look at that group, because everybody's kind of taking different parts of that money. But I thought it was unique that the group kind of got together and really focused on some priorities to take concepts and move forward and present to you guys. And obviously, then you can make that decision on what priority you want to move forward.
Yeah, and we should have started with thanking you guys for your effort.
Well,
to
thank
put
y'all
this-
for having.
To
a
put
meeting
this together, because we really appreciate it. I mean, there's a reason that we called upon you to help us figure this trail question out
Yeah, definitely.
for the money. So this question is probably more for Matt on the Meadow River Rail Trail. The $50,000 for maintenance and enhancements, how long do you estimate that will last? Like, how often do you feel like we're gonna need to feed that beast?
That's probably based on some of the estimates for mowing and some of the trail repair, that's at least 3 years. The good thing about that trail is, at this point, Greenbrier County owns the majority of what's open. So, like the mowing estimates I'm getting now, Greenbrier County has paid 100%, but if that ever gets split, Greenbrier County would still pay the vast majority of that bill.
Okay, I think, Matt, we also need to get some information on, the bridge inspections and maintenance, like a regular schedule for that and what that's gonna cost.
Yeah, I talked to a structural engineer about that. She said that she'd get some information on what needs to be looked at, but then also went to Chapman Technical Group to get a recommendation on how often that bridge needs to be inspected by a structural engineer versus, just a cursory visual inspection of, trees piled up on the upstream side, things like that. So I'm working on that and putting that into a comprehensive maintenance plan for the trail, which is important for, especially since the FEMA funds were used on the project.
Okay, so shouldn't this 50,000 be incorporated into that plan and then funded in its entire, or, considered in its entirety?
Yeah, I mean, however you want to, I just added that in since it's not a rush project. There's no deadline on that at the moment. The 20 grand for the match for the transportation alternative grant that's the one that's critical and has the deadline.
Well, if there's some, and who would maintain this fund, like, who would maintain such a fund for the trail management, maintenance?
That'll be up to the county commission. I'm not sure.
I think we just,
So you're just saying asking that we set aside money for that and allocate it
Yeah.
for that, budget for it?
Correct.
Okay, all right. I think it would be worthwhile to check with Greenbrier County to see what kind of assistance they need with the mowing. And that sort of thing for now. So we can make sure we're not, make sure we're paying our part of it.
or was this part of it, Matt?
Yeah, this would help cover the mowing. And like there's been a couple trees down on the Fayette County side that Greenbrier County paid to have removed. We've also had some volunteers remove trees, but the ones that contractors removed, Greenbrier County had received a grant a couple years ago for the trail that didn't specify what county to be used for. So we've been using those funds to help cover items in Fayette County, just to help Fayette County out also.
We'll just make sure if there's something that's not covered by the grant that they need to, that they invoice us.
Okay.
And Matt, when could you have that other information on the bridges,
Like the whole.
Um,
plan.
the whole maintenance plan?
Probably in the next month or so.
Okay. Then we can maybe allocate all that money from ARPA.
Nice.
Okay.
Um,
Other questions,
yeah, well, yeah, that was all the questions.
Hey, Matt, Matt, the Needles Eye, maybe I need to ask this later here. The Needles Eye, they haven't even started the project that
The construction.
the funded on that, for the grant yet, have they?
They have not. They selected a contractor and I think they'll be starting like June potentially. It should be happening really soon. And then they have a really quick turnaround. So that The sections that they're working on is 7 miles, I believe, should be completed this fall. But the reason that we included Needles Eye in this sort of document is because that construction doesn't include this downhill trail that's left from the Fayette County Soft Surface Trails Plan.
Okay, but this could be something that's done in 2025, correct? Because you're
Yeah.
not gonna be done.
It would be separate than what's.
Right, so it's actually a 2025 project.
Yes,
That was
and that is included in that trail. plan.
the, and then the Hawk's Nest.
Yeah, I'm gonna let, my friend Steve over here talk.
Well,
Oh,
I don't think he has to.
No,
but
Okay.
I
We've
already-
heard about that
Okay.
quite a bit.
Yeah, I was just mentioning it out of top, and then the Smithers in Montgomery. Is Smithers gonna do is this through a grant? It doesn't say through, it's a grant, does it?
This was just a recommendation from Ann, Abby Newell, our president, and Ann had a conversation. She just called Ann to say, hey, you know, there's ARPA money potentially for trail projects. Do you have any in mind? And this is what came out of that. I think it's mostly for planning, not construction. They need a way to connect Smithers to those trails that will be built at the Mammoth Preserve.
But isn't there the Two Rivers Trail Plan that already did that?
I don't think that this is included in that. I don't think there's a connection to the town, to the preserve, is how I understand.
Okay,
Yes.
to the
yeah.
preserve.
That's how I
right, it's
understood
not.
that.
Yeah, I even put that on my comprehensive plan. I'm sorry. Yeah,
That's
it's not-
right.
So for this, we would need an estimate for engineer, like from an engineer.
Yeah. And I appreciate bringing up that estimate. These are sort of just like numbers that
Well, we didn't give you a lot of time.
That's okay.
We didn't give you a lot of time, so we know that, but this one isn't one we have to decide the date
Yeah,
either, so
yeah,
if we
that's-
can get that in time for June. That would be great.
Yeah, what is your deadline
If,
for these?
which June meeting did we decide we were going to?
Talked about June something, but I think this money can be allocated on, correct me if I'm wrong, Ruth, anytime in
Well,
twenty
yeah,
twenty-four.
because you said to submit everything in June and you would decide, I think, July.
We were planning to decide in June or July, but we could decide after that, so just get us the estimates as soon as you can for those couple of things.
Do you know the date for the June meeting? June?
I'll start to look at
Okay,
that.
that's fine.
Maybe one in the later.
The one at the end for
This is like the
final
27th.
and stuff.
26th.
26th, okay.
Okay, June 26th.
Really?
Okay, thanks.
And on your tools and tool trailer.
Mhm.
Have an estimate on what a tool trailer is gonna cost, what specific specifications are on it, and a list of your tools.
Yes.
When Abby knows that how we have to bid these things out, so she can,
Help with that.
yeah, she absolutely can.
Yeah, Abby, everybody, Jean, Abby, they wish they could be here, but,
Oh, I know, Jean's been in touch with us.
okay,
But one thing too, if you guys need our help with the ad that goes out, if you're gonna bid certain things, just let us know.
okay,
Let Brian know and he can reach out to
okay.
our office.
That's all the questions I had to bring up to talk about.
That was all the questions I have as well.
You done?
Yeah,
So we did include Fayette County Park in here. That's the very first one. I know that there's money potentially from the ARC Power Grant that was awarded a long time ago to Region 4. I don't even know what year that was. And I don't really know the status of that money, but I don't believe what they are allocating to Fayette County Park would complete the trail plan that's in that Fayette County Soft Surface Trail Plan. So that's why we included that in this list. That would also include a bridge that would allow you to access those trails. And again, we can have a quote or an estimate for what it would take to even build that kind of thing. But that will be necessary for trail access.
Yeah, and I think that's a 2025, 2026 to be.
Yeah.
I think these others are, at least there's two of them I see need to be.
2025 projects.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you all know anything about that ARC money? Because I haven't heard any updates from Region 4 on that.
No,
Okay, that's all right. I just thought I would ask.
I can reach out to them.
Okay, sounds good.
all right, thanks. So,
I make a motion to approve. I guess I'll do them one at a time. I don't know how the other commissioners feel about it, but I make a motion to approve the Hawk's Nest, trail trestle.
second,
All in favor? I'd like to also approve the Meadow River Trail Phase 4 extension.
second,
All in favor?
uh,
And then we can leave, unless the commissioner says any other inquiries or information, I'd like to leave the rest of it for later on.
I agree. You cool with that, John?
Yep.
All right. Any other questions or anything?
Just the roof.
The roof.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's.
Oh,
on the trails.
I don't have any more, but thanks for having a special meeting
Yeah.
for trail projects.
Before we move on, I want to see. This come up, the Anstead roof project come up, I think, last couple meetings. I don't have, how much.
And it
was
wasn't on the agenda, but it's right here, $19,500.
19-1 or something like that.
Huh?
19-1.
How many?
That sounds right, 19,000.
19.5 is what this estimate.
Oh, 19.5, okay.
Well, then this says, this is a rubber roofing system. Mayor, is it this
I have three quote, warranty.
26,743? That's another one I had in my packet from last, it was in my trails packet from last week.
We have a metal roof and two, rubber roofs.
So what was the third estimate that we're missing? Was that the 91?
Roofing, which is 27,443, which is a rubber roof.
Who did you guys decide to award it to?
Well, we were talking to, a Willis management. But that is still up in the air. First thing that are.
Okay. So I guess we need to know the amount. Why don't we just go ahead and approve it up to a certain amount?
I don't have a problem
Whoever
with
it
that.
gets. So what was the highest estimate was 27?
27,443.
Okay, so I move that we approve up to 27,443 for Instead's roof.
Second, all in favor?
Aye. Motion adjourned.
Hold on, I think.
Oh, yes, that was.
I think
Oh. Jack.
Jack,
We can
Jack,
meet him on the record.
huh?
So we don't have to do that on the record.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Jack, you want to, motion to adjourn, I guess. I mean, I don't. Come on, Jack, shake your hand.
All right.